Hello, welcome to Tales from Nerd. I'm your host, Random Nerd 2016 / Kevin, and this is my weekly podcast where I talk about the comic books coming out this week. And this week, December 16th, is a lot of books coming out this week. Holy crap! It's like 29 books. I'm picking up, of course. But these are books I'm recommending. If not jumping off, these are gonna be jumping off points, new number ones, or they're in the middle of the event. And I have this moved or not. There we go. But yes, I want to ask you something very important. How was your week last week? And also, what books did you read last week? Let me know in the comments below. Back to the podcast. I'm wearing something different. Not just a t-shirt, not a hoodie. I'm wearing two different things. I got a plush, which got this week. Of course, he had that. YouTuber pre-ordered it a long time ago. Finally came in. Glad to have it. You may have seen them on my Instagram. Of course, if you got any questions on my Instagram or Twitter, leave them down. My links to my Twitter and Instagram are down below. I haven't read much comics last week. So I'm still putting up the book from last week. I'm a little behind. I've only read like 3 to 4 books from last week. I'm a little behind. Just letting you know. I'm gonna move on to the first book of the week. So we're gonna talk DC, Marvel, Indies, of course. It's heavy week. We're in the middle of events for both companies, and I have my headphones right here. All right. So the first book we're going to talk about is Aquaman number 66, written by Ron Mars and Andy Lanning. The art is by Marco Santucci and Miguel Mendonca, and the price is $3.99. And this is the description of the book. Endless Winter, Chapter 4. The icy tendrils of Frost King's global grip extended all the way to the bottom of the seven seas. Can Arthur and Mera convince a ferocious collective fire trolls to emerge from Earth's very core to save Atlantis and its frozen imprisonment? And in our look to the past, the unlikely team of heroes gets more than they bargained for when they face off against the Frost King for the very first time. Cool description. I'm excited for this Endless Winter. It feels like I'm watching Just League Unlimited, kind of. But yeah, it's a 9-part series. It's almost done. I think it's gonna end in December as well. So you don't need to pick this up. But if you're interested in it, this is chapter 4 of 9. Not gonna jump on point, but if you want to read it, you can check it out. If not, that's fine. Next up, Batman number 105, written by James Tynion IV, or penciler by Carlo Paguglian. Sorry if I butchered that name. And penciler by Christian Deuce, and penciler by Alvaro Martinez Bueno, inker by Danny Mickey, and colors by David Barone. The price on this book is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Ghost Stories Part 4. Batman battles Ghostmaker in the no-holds-barred bloody conclusion of this epic tale, Winner Take Gotham City. And the outcome is not what you're expecting. The future of Gotham City and the fate of Clown Hunter hang in the balance. Now, cool description. Can't wait for the book. Conclusion of the story arc. So issue 106 is a new jumping off point. I will say this. In January and February, we're getting different books, so DC will stop having their normal line of books. We're going to get something called Future State, which I will go on to in a different video when the books come out, of course. I believe this is the last issue, yep, and then Future State is going to take over for a bit. We're not going to get much of the mainline books. We're going to get Future State for 2 months, and then, everything comes back, besides Black Label. Yeah. So if you want to do some holiday reading, read some trades. Anything written by James Tynion IV. Moving on. Batman's Grave number 12, written by Warren Ellis, art by Brian Hitch, and colors by Alex Sinclair. The price is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Chapter 12. In this final issue, Scorn makes his final move to destroy justice in Gotham City. Injured and alone against an army of chaos, Batman has one chance to save the city. His ability to think like the victim, but the victim is always dead. The Batman can only win by using the approach of his own death. So far this 12-issue maxi series, miniseries, I don't know how to say this. I've been reading comics for a while. Not a long time. Some other people, YouTubers, have done this a long time. Not a good jumping on point, but the description of the book is cool. Sad that this book is ending. Warren Ellis has been in controversy a couple of months back. He was supposed to have a story in Dark Knight's Death Metal with the T-Rex Batman. I forgot what story that was. Um, I just can't wait for this to conclude. Can't wait. This started in December, I believe. Yeah, this started in December. It's ending in December, so I'm excited for this book. I can't wait for the conclusion. It's if you didn't want to read the main line Batman book, this is just like, oh, what if Batman's a detective? He's doing his own thing. So it's a nice little book. You don't have to pick up the whole 12 issues. It'll be cheaper on trade. Trust me, it'll save your money. Next up, Captain America number 26, written by Ta-Nehisi Coates, art by Leonard Kirk, and the price is $3.99. And this is the description of the book. All Die Young, Part 7, Red Hulk. That's all. This is a good jumping on point. I would. God, no. This series is hard because you kind of need to read everything. I believe the good jumping on point is after the prison arc and Captain America's running around. I believe that's issue like 13, maybe 18. I believe that's 18 or 16, I believe. But this book is alright. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's fine. You could probably pick it up. Red Hulk's on it. Cover is done by Alex Ross. I may add covers again. It's something I may be working on, so you might be able to see that in the future, hopefully, when I edit this video. Next up, we got Catwoman number 28, written by Ram V, art by Fernando Blanco. Yeah, Fernando Blanco, and colors by FCO Placencia. And the price is $3.99. And this is the description of the book. Apparently taking down the mob, straightening out some crooked cops, and gaining control of Alleytown is not enough for Selena. She's also taken it upon herself to make sure the streets of her newly adopted home are safe for the group of stray kids she's taken under her wing, and she's going to do it by teaching them to steal the streets back for themselves. Introducing Catwoman and the Strays. Ramby, holy crap, love your work. Ramby has been writing a killer Catwoman and a killer series on Justice League Dark. You know what? I like it. Issue 27 is your jumping off point, or 26, I believe. And it's good, a little fun run. Celia goes back to her familiar roots and becomes a new mobster. That's fine. Yeah, Ramby, love his work, and he's also, a little side note, he's getting his own Swamp Thing miniseries or ongoing series. Perfect choice. He can write horror. I'm excited, but let's move on because we got a lot of books this week. Next up, Commanders in Crisis number 3 by Image Comics. It is written by Steve Orlando, art by David Tinto, and the price is $3.99. The Crisis Command interrogates a ticking clock corpse. But how can heroes save world without empathy? First, they have to figure out how to save it within themselves. As Nina Nex, the incredible science hero Frontier, takes John Doe empathy out of the town to discuss their secrets. I'm enjoying Commanders in Crisis. It's a fun little book. It's the multiverse, basically, and what if the multiverse was all in one Earth? Basically, it's just Crisis on Infinite Earths in one book. 12. I believe this is gonna be 12 issues. I believe I read it somewhere. I like it. Steve Orlando. I like his writing, so I'm always down for what he writes. Jumping on point is issue 1. You can still find issue 1 by the multiple variant covers they made for this book. Issue 2, easy to find as well, so there's your jumping on point. Good book, fun run. They make a lot of good jokes. Well, not jokes, but like, it has an interesting concept. I will say this about the concept. Each one of these heroes were presidents. There you go. Next up by DC Comics, Dark Knight's Death Metal #6, written by Scott Snyder, art and no story penciler, cover artist, variant cover by Greg Capullo, inker Jonathan Glapion, and colors by FCO Placencia. The price is $4.99, and this is the description of the book. An Anti-Crisis Part 6. The battle rages as the entire DC universe stands against the darkest night. Villains fight along heroes, working as one to banish this demon from the deepest corners of the dark multiverse. Meanwhile, the Robin King lurks nearby, his army of goblins in await. The dogs of war are loose, and no one is safe. I'm enjoying Dark Knight's death metal more and more. I didn't like the beginning. Now I'm liking as we're getting closer to the end. Last issue was probably my favorite issue of Dark Knight's metal in general, because I predicted a few things. I was right. I discussed with my friend Amara. Amara, if you're watching this, yeah, it's interesting. It's fun. I like Scott Snyder, one of my favorite writers, next to James Snyder IV. I'm interested in how this is gonna end. Especially, it's coming to the end in January. So if you haven't picked up Dark Knight's Metal, you have two ways to get it, either physically or digitally. It's up to you if you want to pick it up. If not, you can wait and trade. But apparently, this is going to lead to how Future State is going to be. Future State is going to be. But if you like the concept or are interested in this book, there you go. We're going to move on to the next book, which is Deadpool #9 by Marvel Comics. It's written by Kelly Thompson, art by Gerardo Sandoval. The price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. One last kiss. Elsa Blood sold Deadpool out to the Bone Beast Queen. With this tenuous alliance already falling apart, who will save the children? And what about Jeff? Jeff the Shark. So Jeff the Shark is probably, Kelly Thompson knows that Jeff the Shark because he is my favorite character of the book. What you need to know is, I believe issue 7 is your jumping on point, 7 or 8. And yeah, Elsa Bloodstone and Deadpool are going through this journey in their relationship. Are they dating? I don't think so. Are they? I don't know. I don't know. Deadpool's like, I love you, but I don't. Or Elsa's like, I love you, but I don't. And yeah, it's Deadpool. Deadpool's fun. It's not. I was thinking it was gonna be different, but considering it's a different writer, it's understandable. I'm enjoying it. It's it's all right. I would say read the first trade because I think the first trade shines on what Deadpool is. He is a wisecracker, and that's Deadpool. That's the Deadpool I like. But we're gonna move on to the next book, which is Fantastic Four #27, written by Marvel Comics. Writer is Dan Slott. Art by R.B. Silva. Colors by Jesus Aburtov. The price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Borrowed armor. Everything is about to come to an end here on Yancey Street. Literally everything. Say goodbye to Earth, our galaxy, and life as we know it. Because this entire dimension is destined for destruction. Whose fault is it, and why, with stakes so high, would they choose this moment to abandon us? Guest starring the Silver Surfer. Yeah. So after the events of issue 26, holy crap, they brought back a villain. I thought they were not going to use again. Um, Creations were brought back from Franklin Richards. I will say that a big revelation for Franklin Richards. And who's smarter, the brother or sister, Valeria or Franklin? But yeah, this book, I think the perfect jumping on point is literally 26, because issue 25 is they create an infinite gate, which I think they mentioned. I think it's called the Infinite Gate. It's a cool concept. I like it, and how they put it back together in issue 26. Issue 26 got a lot of flack. I understand why, but maybe with Jonathan Hickman and Dan Slott talking in the future, everything will be put back together. So, oh, we'll see. Pick it up. It's a good, fun book. So we're going to move on to the next book, which is Green Lantern Season 2, number 10, written by Grant Morrison, art by Liam Sharp. The price is $3.99. And did I talk about this book last week? I might have, but if not, my apologies. The Ultra War begins. Oh, the price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. The Ultra War begins. Meet Hal Jordan's Earth 11 counterpart in this first skirmish of the Ultra War against a backdrop of cosmic conspiracy and shady interstellar politics. Two Green Lanterns and two Star Sapphires enact a four-way battle of the sexes as the cracks of dimension of division spread from world to world. Can love prevail? Grant Morrison's Green Lantern. If you've never read Green Lantern, this might be your thing. If not, you're not going to understand it. The thing about Grant Morrison, and if you watch my previous podcasts on comics, I am not a big fan of Grant Morrison's Green Lantern. It's big, crazy, cosmic, whatever. And I don't mind it, but everything Jeff Johns has built and Robert Venditti built in their Green Lantern series, I mean, it didn't match well because I love Green Lantern. I got into Green Lantern because of DC Rebirth. Basically without DC Rebirth, I would have never got back to comics. And just seeing how this, picks and chooses whatever it wants, kind of hurt me when I read it in the beginning. But I enjoy it for what it is. But it's not Green Lantern to me. But I still read it because it's the only Green Lantern book that's out there, and pretty soon we're gonna get more. So. I'm waiting for how this ends. It might end good, it might end bad, but we'll see. We only got 2 issues left, and this 12-issue max series is over. So yay! Look at the time, Jesus, we still got a lot of books. All right, Immortal Hulk number 41 by Marvel Comics. It's written by Al Ewing, penciler by Joe Bennett, inker by Rui Jose, and colors by Paul Mount. The price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. The rematch everybody wanted, but not like this. The Hulk is broken, friendless, and hunted. In every way, he's a shadow of his former self. But there's nothing like the real thing. Because, back in Fantastic Four, the Immortal Hulk fought the Thing, but it was revealed that, oh God, what villain took over? Basically, a villain from Fantastic Four was taking control of the Hulk, and now they're rematching because the Hulk did something bad a couple issues ago, but it wasn't his fault. Literally, it was the villain of the series, the main bit bag, which I did not think they were gonna do. And yeah, Al Ewing doing good. We got 9 more issues, and his book is over. Which I'm like, who's gonna top this Immortal Hulk run? Because nobody's gonna top it. If you want to read it, read the trade from the beginning. It's one of those books you need to read from the beginning because you start to see those plans, those cracks of like my brain started ticking. I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting to see everything connect slowly. That's how good the book is with Joe Bennett and Al Ewing. I think those two guys are literally the top. This book and Spider-Man. I'll probably and Daredevil. Those are 3 top books in my opinion that should be a must-read in Marvel right now, especially with this book, which sold out like crazy. I'm surprised, but again, I've been touting this book since issue 1. It's that good. Daredevil and Immortal Hulk, which I was not going to read, but I'm happy I picked it up. But yeah, pick up the trade for the first one, and then decide for yourself on that horror awesome book. Next up, we got Iron Man number 4, written by Christopher Cantwell and art by Kafu, colors by Frank DeMarta, and the price is $3.99. And this is a description of the book. The man with the golden arms. Korvac is on the loose, and Tony Stark is on the hook for it. Iron Man and Hellcat were lucky to survive their first encounter with Korvac and his new disciples, but finding him and stopping him is proving an even greater challenge. Tony is reticent to let other hero allies in on the fact that he opened up a giant can of worms all on his own, but it might be a moot point given that Korvac has placed Tony under a very clear threatening gag order, as Korvac powers down all of New York City in order to try and again go cosmic. Tony's forced to turn a lesser-known colleagues on the fringe in order to stop him. One advantage he has, Hellcat, is hearing things ever since their last encounter with Korvac. Strange things that might overtake her entirely. But yeah, Iron Man. I like the idea that they're going with. It's gonna take some time for me. Dan Slott wrote it okay, and Bendis wrote it okay. I haven't found an Iron Man book I like. Out of all of them, I'm enjoying this one more, but I'm like, what am I reading? The art is cool. Chris Camwell, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying his writing. I will see how this is. I want to see how the first arc is, and I want to see if it's a book. I'll probably still read it, but we'll see. We're gonna move on to Justice League number 56, written by Ron Mars, art written by also Andy Landing, art by Zarmanico and Marco Santucci, and the price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Endless Winter Chapter 5. In this turning point issue, the Justice League is scattered across the snow-covered globe, trying to stave off the frozen doom, leaving Green Lantern John Stewart to stand alone. In the Hall of Justice, he begins to piece together clues that could help turn the icy tide that threatens to overwhelm them all. But then an unexpected visitor arrives on cue, the Frost King himself. In the past, however, Queen Hippolyta, Swamp Thing, and Viking Prince witness a terrible decision made by Black Adam, one that will haunt them forever. Read chapter 1 of Endless Winter. I still have to read the other chapters. It's an event book. It's gonna be one and done. Again, like I described it, it feels like a Justice League cartoon. And you know what? That's what Scott Snyder's was. It's not bad. I like it. But like, why have two events all at once like Marvel does? So I don't know. It's just a film thing. I'm guessing this was supposed to be future. I don't know. I'll read it, but like the cover kind of looks like Perpetual. It looks like Perpetual's like another villain. But yeah, we're gonna move on. By Marvel Comics, King in Black, the Immortal Hulk #1, written by Al Ewing, art by Aaron Cooter. The price is $4.99, and this is the description of the book. Black Christmas, a present for the Hulk. The Hulk is in a bad place. Half of his alters are dead or missing, including Bruce Banner, and the leaders got the rest of them on the ropes. But never let it said that Joe Fixit doesn't know how to have a good time, and he's out to make sure this is the best holiday the Hulk's ever had. He just has to fight his way through a planet of symbiotes first. King in Black. It's Italian. I like anything written by Al Ewing. I saw this. I'm like, Al Ewing's writing it, so it must be important. I don't care. It's King in Black. I'll read it because it's Immortal Hulk, written by Al Ewing. So it might tie into this book, to his Hulk book. Might not, but I'm excited. Pick this up. King in Black #1. Holy crap! But I'm tired of entities being. Here's the thing about entities. I'm tired of like world level god becoming bigger world ending gods. That's all I gotta say. But we're gonna move on to the next book. So it's a good jumping on point. Read it. Next up, New Mutants #14, written by Vita Ayala and the head of X himself, Jonathan Hickman. Art by Rod Reese. The price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Lost in the shuffle, on the edge of Krakoan society, the New Mutants are loose in the wild hunt, going big, blowing things up, and combining powers to see who gets crowned king of the mountain. But something lurks in the trees, something old and hungry, and its favorite prey is young mutants. So perfect jumping on point. If you've never read New Mutants, this is your jumping on point. This is after the events of, X of Swords, Ten of Swords. And some of our characters will forever be changed, and I think we'll see the ramifications in this book for some of our characters. So I'm excited. Pick this up. I think you don't have to read Swords of X, Ten of X for this, so we're gonna move on. Pick it up. Next up, Nightwing number 77, written by Dan Jurgens, art by Ronan Cliquet, and the price is $3.99. And this is a description of the book. Christmas has come to Gotham City, and all across the city, people have taken time out of their busy schedules to spend time with their loved ones. But Dick Grayson has found himself in the midst of a dilemma. How can he take time off when crime never sleeps? And how can he spend time with loved ones when he has pushed them all away? An answer in the form of a random encounter with a lost soul and a kindred spirit awaits him. Yeah, new jumping on point. Nightwing is back to being Nightwing. Holy crap, it took like 2 years too long for Nightwing to come back. But yeah, Nightwing's back. Christmas issue, so yeah, good jumping on point, because we're not gonna have a lot of issue books coming in the next few weeks. Moving on. Once in Future, number 14 by Boom Studios, written by Kieron Gillen and art by Dan Mora. The price is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Grand, Dukin, and Rose are on a new quest to learn more about about Merlin's plan when they come face to face with another mysterious knight of legend. But if they track down the powerful Nemu and stay one step ahead of their enemy, it seems the trio will need to play this night's game, whether they like it or not. Once in Future, it's an indie book I've been reading the last few months. I'm enjoying it. I'm sharing this book because it's awesome. So, Tiffany from Comic Pop with Sal, those two guys, she recommended it during one of their episodes of Off the Rack. And I'm like, I'll check it out. Checked it out, loved it, especially with Die. Oh my god. Yeah, so I'd say a good jumping on point is issue 13, because I believe that's after the second arc. So if not, pick up the first trade. If not, just read. Try to find issue 1 digitally, and then decide for yourself if you want to read it. This is a fantastic indie book, and I really can't wait for more. And we're gonna move on to the next book, which is Power Rangers number 2, Power Rangers number 2 by Boom Studios. It's written by Ryan Parrott, art by Francesco Mortarino. The price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. 2 new series, 2 new teams. The unlimited power era continues as the Power Rangers betray Zordon. A new cosmic threat is here, and the all-new Power Rangers team will put it all on the line to stop it, even if it means trusting their mortal enemy, Lord Draken. But as new threat launches in its first offensive against the Power Rangers, the question remains: will Draken act as friend or foe? After all, Draken always has a plan. Power Rangers number 1, a good jumping on point. Mighty Morphin, good jumping on point. Number 1. Basically, these 2 series will follow hand to hand, but if you want to choose one or the other, it's fine. Uh, those 2 are good books that will be hand in hand together, I believe. And yeah, it's awesome. I like it, and I've always wanted to get into Power Rangers, the comic, so finally got on it. So issue 1's jumping up on. I do recommend. Next up, how many books do we get? Oh my god. Okay. Oh no, I did not want to do that. I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I still got 11 books. I apologize for this longer episode. Next up, DC Comics. Rorschach number 3 by DC Comics, written by Tom King, art by George Fornes, and colors by Dave Stewart. The price is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. In an instant, 15 million people are dead. What happens when the human psyche is forced to accept such a devastating truth? Follow the story of the kid, a radicalized gun-toting performer and the right-hand woman of the new Rorschach. See how this masked woman grows from an innocent child to to the would-be cold-blooded assassin of a presidential candidate. This detective thriller will unravel the mysteries behind the assassination attempt and reveal how the struggles of the killers connect to a larger turmoils of the world. Eisner-winning, Eisner Award-winning writer Tom King delves into the desperation that leads to radicalization and the questions that can lead a person into violence. Rorschach, it's okay. Issue 1 was like, what's the mystery? Okay. Issue 2 was like, oh, okay, so this is where it gets interesting. Issue 3, we'll see, because that hasn't come out yet. Pick up issue 1 and 2 and issue 3, 1 through 3 when you're at the comic book shop this Wednesday. I do recommend it. Also, give you a heads up. I forgot to say that it is a black label book, so it's gonna be more darker. It's not gonna be your superhero book, because then again, Rorschach was never a superhero. He was kind of a bastard. So yeah. We're gonna go to the next book by Marvel Comics, Savage Avengers number 16, written by Gary Dugan, art by Patrick Zurcher, and colors by Jabba Tartaglia. Tartaglia. I don't know. I butchered your name. Sorry. The price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Chapter 16, let's go to Limbo. Magic joins Conan with guest Avenger the Black Knight and the Juggernaut. An Asgardian dragon with a second eye of Agamotto doesn't stand a chance, or maybe he does. Either way, the Sweet 16 of this comic is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight that will punch you upside the head. Fair warning. Savage Avengers is a more magical type of team, so if you want your magic type team for Avengers, there you go, Savage Avengers. Pick up the first trade, because there's no perfect jumping on point, because I reread the books and I realized you kind of need to read everything because it's story from beginning to end, so we'll see. Next up, by Skybound, Stillwater number 4, written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Mike Spicer and Ramon K. Perez. The price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. In the town of Stillwater, the judge's word is law. But what does the law mean when the townspeople decide they've had enough? Stillwater, it's a good indie book. The first book was amazing, and I recommend this to you. Please read it, because holy crap, the concept is cool. It's a town of where people cannot die, and only in that town. So it brings up a lot of questions to what happens to people. So read it. I think you'll enjoy it. Next up, Superman number 28, written by Brian Michael Bendis, penciler by Ivan Reis, inker by Joe Padro, and colors by Alex Sinclair. The price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Mythological finale. It's a Man of Steel's last stand in this final Superman tale by superstar team of Brian Michael Bendis and Ivan Reis and Joe Padro. Superman comes face to face with an alien race that he desperately wants to help before it's too late, as the cosmically powered race known as the Sinmar aim their deadly power at the Man of Steel's adopted planet. Superman finds himself pushed past anything he has ever faced. Get ready to experience a powerhouse moment for Superman that's been years in the making, and it's done. Brian Michael Bendis is off the book. Hooray. Um Look, I don't mind Bendis. He's written some really good stuff. He's written some really bad stuff. I don't enjoy a lot of his DC work. The only thing I enjoyed was Young Justice. I didn't enjoy Event Leviathan. Action Comics was iffy at best. Superman, I didn't enjoy all of Superman. I think this latest arc was probably the only thing I liked. Everything else was just like, what are you doing? Why? I can't wait for new number 1 Superman, because it's the finale of Bendis, and we're getting the finale of Action Comics. I think the latest arc of Action Comics has been more interesting, so yeah. But we're gonna move on to a better book. Tales from Dark Multiverse, Crisis on Infinite Earths by number 1 by DC Comics, written by Steve Orlando and art by Mike Perkins. The price is $5.99, and this is the description of the book. When the Anti-Monitor's deadly grudge match with the Multiverse was finally foiled, there was only one Earth left. But which Earth? That was crucial to what would happen next. In one timeline, Earth's one Superman stopped the Superman of Earth 2 from going into the final battle, but in the Dark Multiverse, it's Jor-El of Earth 2 who survives, changing the landscape for all that follows. When Surtur comes looking to crush all life, and the beleaguered heroes jump into the next battle, jumping from one crisis to the next. Well, will the last days of the Justice Society of America play differently if Green Lantern Alan Scott steps into the darkness? Cool. Crisis on Infinite Earths. Here's the thing about I don't get from Dark Multiverse. So the Dark Multiverse, it's still Dark Multiverse. How can it have a crisis? How can a death metal happen? How can an infinite crisis happen? These are the questions that make my head like hurt a little bit because I'm like, so there's its own Earth with like the multiverse, but it's evil. But death metal was already evil. Some of these stories were already dark. And like, why is this happening? My head's already hurting from thinking this. I'll still pick it up. Steve Orlando's writing it. He's also writing Commander's Crisis because it's funny because he's writing 2 multiverse books this week. So I'm excited for both books. So pick it up. Moving on to Taskmaster number 2, written by Jed MacKay, art by Alessandro Vitti, colors by Guru EFX, and the price is $3.99. And this is the description of the book. The Rubicon Trigger Part 2, Target Coulson. Taskmaster heads to DC for his first victim, Phil Coulson, but Coulson isn't alone. He's got an entire squadron on speed dial. Taskmaster number 1, I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was going to be different, and you know what? Now the description for the second issue, can't wait. This is Squad Supreme. They were hinted in Avengers, but then Jason Aaron did nothing with them. So, yeah, so I guess Jed MacKay has to pick up what Jason Aaron doesn't want to do, so, yeah. So issue 1 and 2, pick it up. Next up is DC Comics, Teen Titans Endless Winter Special number 1, written by Ron Mars, Andy Landing, art by Marco Santucci, and Jesus Marino. The price is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Endless Winter Chapter 6. Crush, Roundhouse, Kid Flash, and Red Arrow embark on a bonding exercise with new partners from the original new Teen Titans, Donna Troy and Beast Boy. Everyone's limit will be tested as they brave the challenges of holiday shopping in Manhattan, and then the city is buried in snow. When they discover a teen whose powers are triggered by an extreme cold, the team must decide if this new rival is a future hero or villain. And in the past, Black Adam battles the Frost King with devastating consequences. So yeah, chapter 6 of a 9-chapter story. There you go. If you want to read more Teen Titans, there you go. If not, you can skip it. Most likely you could skip it, but we'll see. Okay, man, we got 4 more books. God, I don't like to make these long, but like this week is coming out with like a lot of books. But before we go to the next book, if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, my links are down below, or you can look me up at a random nerd 2016. There you go. And if you want to know the websites I use for my comic book information, I will list them down below as well. Also, a comic book shop locator to support your local comic book shop, and also the guy who made my music, one of my good friends down below. He made my music for my intro before I forgot the intro, and I had the song on my other laptop, so I gotta get that fixed soon, so I can have some song playing around here. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next book, which is by IDW Publishing, Transformers / Back to the Future number 2, written by Kevin Scott, art by Juan Samu. The price is $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Great Scott! Marty McFly is woken up to the present where Hill Valley has been enslaved by the Decepticons. And not only that, when a time machine arrives from the future to help Marty to help. Marty finds out that Doc Brown isn't the only one with a flux capacitor gigawatt, and Autobot has one built in. To discover the secrets of his present, Marty will have to trust his mysterious stranger on a trip to the future. This book was delayed like 3 different times, so this was supposed to come out like end of November, beginning of December. Then it was just delayed more and more. That's I don't like knowing that the book's delayed. I mean, book delays always happen. I don't mind, but I'm just happy this book is coming out. Good thing, because even though I made a thumbnail with this book, and then I made the thumbnail like Monday night, and I put the video like Monday night as well, and then I looked back to the list, and the book was delayed. I'm like, no, the book was pushed back. I'm like, God damn it! Like, I don't like putting out wrong information, but it does tend to happen, and my apologies. But it's a 4-part series, so yeah, Taskmaster. Oh, well, Taskmaster. I'll speak about it one next issue of Taskmaster, because it's only 5-issue miniseries. This is a 4-issue miniseries. But yeah, Transformers in the future and Back to the Future of Marty McFly, Gigawatt. You know, so in Luke Perry already had a shirt with for the DeLorean Transformers. So yeah. But we're gonna move on to the next book by Boom Studios. We only find them when they're dead. Number 4, written by Al Ewing, art by Simone De Mio. The price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. The final showdown between Malik and Richard has begun on the surface of the god they discovered. But will Malik survive long enough to find a living god, or has he doomed his crew to the unimaginable fate? So, this book, it is space, feels like a cartoon you're reading in action, and the dialogue is awesome, and there's a lot of characters that I like. It's interesting. Literally, these people take apart dead gods. It sounds bad, but like the book makes it more interesting. So pick it up if you can find issue 1, because issue 1 sold out like crazy. Moving on to Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood, number 2, written by Chris Claremont, Vida Ayala, Saladin Ahmed, art by Greg Land, Kev Walker, Salvador LaRocca. The price is $4.99, and this is the description of the book. Unfinished business and seeing in red. Shopping across for round 2 of Wolverine's new all-star bloody battles. The adventures of Wolverine continue in this visceral black, white, and blood red format. Legendary ex-scribe Chris Claremont reteams with the incomparable Salvador LaRocca to bring Logan back to Madripoor as Patch, where he and Kate Pryde face their toughest battle yet. Then Saladin Ahmed and Kev Walker build a life or death catch-22, courtesy of the maniacal arcade, that will force Wolverine to make a life or death decision. And Vidal Ayala and Greg Land put Wolverine on a mission to stop a cure for the X gene, where he'll cross paths with his deadliest foe, Sabretooth. I'm tired of people using the cure for X gene. Jesus, that's what Matthew Rosenberg did for his X-Men run. And then John Hickman never referenced that. I just realized that. Pick it up. I think it's only like 4 issues or 3 issues. I could look it up. Let me look it up. I think it's only 3 issues. Yeah, it's only 3 issues. I like it. I mean, it's everything's in black and white, and when there's blood, there's blood. It's interesting. No, there's 4. There's 4. There is 4 issues. Wait, what? Why am I in issue 4? I want to go to issue 2 previously, and it's taking me back to issue 4. I need to go to issue 2. There we go. Pick it up. Yeah. Next up, and the final book of the week is X-Force number 15, written by Benjamin Percy, the head of X himself, Jonathan Hickman. Praise him. Just That's a joke. That's a bad joke. Art by Joshua Cassara. Colors by Guru EFX. The price is $3.99, and this is the description of the book. Shattered trust, Omega Reds harboring a deadly secret, and X-Force may have to cross a line to keep Krakoa safe, but nothing compares to the trust broken by the interrogation of one of their own. X-Force, I read all, 12 issues before Ten of Swords, and holy crap, now they're picking up the storyline that they left off because Ten of Swords happened. Yeah. If you ask me what book I'm excited for, I'm mostly excited for actually a lot of the indies. As much as I like Marvel and DC, there's just too much going on with them right now. I'm enjoying the little smaller books. But I think you'll see in my thumbnail which one I like, which one I'm enjoying the most. But yeah, that is it for the podcast. It's a long one because it's like 29 books I'm picking up. And I hope you enjoy. And as always, peace.